finished the gym, so that's good. Man, I tell you what, I'm basically 47 now. And I lift, younger dudes who are on protein and stuff. I can, on all kinds of shit. I know I'm still looking, I look like I look like I'm under the age of 30. And it's something I can say to people. I know how to do it. It's not like a difficult process. All you have to do is stick to your plan. And get the form right. I've noticed, like on my YouTube channel, like some people leave messages and they say, "Oh, you should do it this way, you should do it that way." And I go, "Yeah, but this has worked for me." Now, at my age, I can't exactly. My body doesn't bounce back like it did when I was 26. But in saying that, because I still am very active, my body bounces back very well for my age. Okay, who's gonna... You gotta be... Where's this guy going? Okay. Oh, gotta be careful here. It doesn't seem like nobody likes to let people in here. That is one little corner that I don't particularly like. It's, a little bit. That's Jeep Cherokee. Whoa, cool. But anyway, if people just followed my plan. 18 months, I think at 18 months they would probably outperform me. I have an incurable cancer that I should be using. I can use testosterone, and I should be able to get it. If I needed it, sorry, I should rephrase that. If I needed it, I can get it through any clinic in Australia, right? I've got the medical records, but I don't take anything anymore. And all of my vital signs, every couple of months I'll get a blood test. They keep coming back. Really good. Of course, my hormone levels have dropped as I'm practically 47. But I say you've been able to keep yourself very healthy through a lot of hard work in the gym. So I don't think you need a personal trainer every single time you step into the gym. You just need a good plan and to know a few people that know what they're talking about or have at least gone through it. This is why I have a big issue with personal trainers who don't keep themselves in good shape. I do have an issue with it because unless they've already previously been in great shape and for all the reasons in the world that can exist for people to get out of shape, and they're very reasonable. I met a lady that had her leg amputated. but she was very fit like 4 years ago. Now she just she lost her, she went through a rough patch. That's legitimate and reason. That's very legitimate what she says. She just didn't want to do anything for 2 years, and now she's just getting back into it. That's fine, but whoa, is this car okay? That isn't. Oh yeah, they're okay. So anyway, you've just got to keep thinking like, why are you doing this if you don't look like it? But I find that's problematic, because it's if you're a personal trainer, you should at least do what you preach. Different sports, different objectives, of course, but still, I've seen, being here in Australia, I've seen a few trainers who I just wouldn't trust. I'm not saying they're just pure observation. The other thing is, my God, I have seen some horrendous footwork. This van is way too close to me. He better calm down. You've got to give 3 seconds, and he has 0 seconds. But you don't do any brake checking or any crazy stuff like that. You just stay on point. You let them make the mistake. Don't make the mistake yourself. Road rage is crazy in Australia. It's crazy anywhere. Getting aggressive over bad driving, makes no sense. But anyway, getting back to it, you don't need, $1 million worth of supplements. I will admit there's branched chain amino acids if you're low. Yeah, if you're low in them, if you're not eating well, definitely a supplement like that. Multivitamin, fantastic. In Australia, we have Barocca drinks. Although I drink practically water only at the gym, there will be times where I will drink a sports drink. You can almost feel it at the gym when you need something. I've drank full sugar Cokes. This guy behind me obviously can't see that just to my left there's a road that the lane joins the freeway. I'm not going to try to pass a car that looks like it might be turning into my lane. I let him go. Ahead of me, I lose 1 car position. So what? This guy behind me looks like trying to get real close to my ass. Well, who could blame him? I've got a pretty good butt. But that is a great car. Ford Falcon. Oh, that's the Forte model. I remember those. The Holden Commodore and Ford Falcon were the best cars for Australian conditions. We shouldn't have imported any of these other cars. We should have just had a Holden versus Ford. Holden Commodore versus Ford Falcon. If they had just come up with an Echo 1.9 litre turbo diesel model. But unfortunately, they're very slow to react to the market pressures and forces. But getting back to it, 18 months, right, you have your plan stage your plans out as well, step by step. It's all doable. But I see people going in and just lifting something and lifting another thing, but there's no plan to what they're doing. That's the danger, because you'll end up doing things that are really good. So people won't bother with legs because they're working on their biceps. I much prefer triceps, especially if you're shooting basketballs. Bicep doesn't really do much. Tricep does everything. Nice strong shoulders, you know. But you've got to focus. Like, what's going to be good for your sport? So I have a group of 30 exercises I do, and depending on your sport, your objective, just take 9 core exercises and then take 6 that are specific for your sport. Start off with that each week. So that's 15 exercises. Each time you go to the gym, you do the pyramid. Your first set, a lot of reps, low weight. Your second set, a few less reps to your middle weight. And then the pyramid at the top, your heaviest weight you can do. And do a few less reps. It's a great way to start. You're building up. If you're not interested in really building a lot of muscle, but you just want to tone yourself, then you pick basically the same process, except you probably just concentrate on your low weight, your middle weight, do 2 sets, repeat your middle weight. Wow, this traffic is amazing. I don't know what the government plans to do about this, but this is more important than the new hate speech laws. I don't really know where Australian government is going. I don't think it's going anywhere nice. But anyway, getting back to it. So anybody tells you there's some kind of special method or way to do things, not true. There is nothing. There's nothing. Supplements, yeah, there are a few here and there that work great. There's a lot that don't do anything. So for example, I don't use whey protein, but right now I have about 200 grams a day of tuna. That's fine. I don't need any more. 5 cups of rice. That'll do. Now, right now, I do eat biscuits. I have Coca-Cola. I eat bread. I eat a loaf of bread a day still. Don't worry. I'm not killing myself, not torturing myself. I'm still having a little bit of fun. Or food, you know. Whatever fun you can have with food, I have it. I still eat a lot of candy, like the soft jelly candies. You know, if I need just a quick hit of sugar, that which happens for me. I've had a metre of intestine removed, so my body can't absorb what it used to. So I sometimes need a sugar hit. Okay, I shouldn't feel bad about it, but you know, I'm not gonna. You know what? I'm not being very honest, am I? I do pig out on biscuits. I'll buy a whole Arnott's, you know, in Australia, Arnott's brand of milk arrowroot or wheat. I think they're called wheatmeal biscuits or whole wheat biscuits or something. I'll eat a whole box of them a day. But if I wanted to shred down to like in that maybe the 8%, so I'd just stop that stuff for a month and I'd be down there. Currently I think that if I'm in the single digit body fat, I'm fine. I'm cool. I don't need to go any lower. Oh wow, this is. That's the problem. I let that guy in. He didn't wave. That is really disturbing to me. That is a trend. That is a trend that people are discussing in Australia. It's very problematic. You can't do that in Australia. If someone lets you in, you wave. Like that's part of our culture. I believe it should be compulsory. It should be a criminal offence not to. If we have evidence that somebody did not wave, then that should be a fine. That's what I believe. I'm making that up. Maybe it should be a warning letter in the mail. I don't, you know. Then again, if the state government can't make money out of it, they're probably not going to make it. Everybody wants to live in Australia, but it's very expensive. Isn't it the most expensive country in the world now? I think Switzerland is, probably Monaco, but this place is right up there. This never happened 20 years ago. I don't think I'd manage very well doing this every day. This is really confronting. Almost 3 o'clock. Okay. This is the biggest thing that the government right now should be thinking about. We've got too many, we don't have too many cars, we have too many people. I believe Australia we should set a limit. And what was the population in the year 2000? I think that's a good number, 22 million, that's the limit. No more. We don't need them. We don't need any more people. It's not about your race or your other culture, your religion. It's nothing to do with that. We just don't have the infrastructure for you. And I don't really understand what the government wants. I really don't. I believe that there is something that they're not telling us. I know it sounds like a conspiracy, but they've agreed to something else. Because they can't, this is why I respect Donald John Trump, and I think that he's the kind of leader who gets respect. He'll make a tough decision, and he'll say why, and he won't wait around. You know, I think that's one of the glorious Donald Trump. Says what he means what he says, doesn't, yes, he's loud, obnoxious, crude, and I saw today somebody said you have PDF files, which is actually bullshit, because the lawyer for the girls in the Epstein Island all signed sworn affidavits they never saw President Donald Trump on the island. He was never involved, and he was the only. Even the lawyer for the girls said President Donald John Trump was the only one to call back prosecutors and investigators and talk to them. He said, I'll give you all the time you want, I'll give you whatever you need. A guilty man doesn't do that. Not only that, they say he was on the plane. No, he wasn't. He went down to Palm Beach on a chartered plane. Epstein had a charter plane company. Donald Trump's plane was in the shop getting repaired. Okay? And, or Toyota Land Cruiser, beautiful. And what it was that's nuts. That's a really bad image. See, this is the thing, you know, they try to edge in on the left, and it's, you know, but the thing that the only time he was ever on the plane was to go to Palm Beach, and he went with his wife Marla Maples at the time, his daughter Tiffany Trump, and the maid. That's the only trip, was to Palm Beach on the charter jet, not on the Epstein Island jet. And you know what? The Democrats had, for 4 years, the Epstein files. They did nothing. If there was anything on President Donald Trump, they would have released it. Very dishonest, the Democrats. If you have a look at what they're doing in the United States now, they are very seditious and treacherous regime. I'm really thinking to myself, how evil can a group be? Like, how diabolical can they be? I keep thinking that, like, watching that Ilhan Omar is scary. Does she even have a soul? I don't know, but there's something evil about that lady. The way she speaks and everything, it's just, there's something else. I know she's a puppet. I know she can't make decisions. She's being told to say something, but I want to know by who. I think that's, you know, it's just a very deceptive woman, that one. Alright, then I think I don't want to get you get really paranoid now about your telephone, because if you want to go somewhere now and you don't want to get lost, you know, and you know, the fining in this country has gone mad. Somebody I know, I saw an image that somebody had their telephone like just on their leg, obviously to navigate. They got a fine. They weren't using it. It wasn't on their hand. Just gone full authoritarian. Like, we just can't. We don't have freedom. Don't ever think this country's free. It's just not. We can't. I know it sounds like a silly thing to say. Like, what? You're saying that it's okay to use your phone when you drive? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that this government seems to like to ban everything. I think what we should do is have a referendum on every single thing we do. Every single legislation. I get really paranoid driving around here because cars will speed right up and take you out. You know, this look, yeah, well, you couldn't see that. He's speeding up, and instead of I don't even know. There were no lights there. It's just, it's very strange. Like, there was no lights. They're not green, not red or anything. They went. But they'll probably, but even though it seems like it's all under construction and not ready, they'll probably fine you. It's the weirdest things, like, you know. They will try to fine you for everything. there's no warning. And the problem with here, this is the other thing people don't understand about this country. We are losing our not just freedom, but we're losing our individual wealth. Of course, the wealthy will be fine; they'll work it out. And I'm not against wealthy people. I think capitalism is awesome, but there are people who lose, but they can't afford the fines that they receive. And you say, well, we should have just avoided them. You know, yeah, I get that. I get that. Great argument to make. But the fines aren't, it's like everything, the council rates, the taxes are not in line with what the money people can afford. So, you know, I've seen it. It's a dangerous little game. That we're getting broker and broker and broker, and the government seems to keep importing more and more people and slows everything down, creates a big logjam, and they don't care. I just don't see what the point is. Anyway, hopefully everyone's donating to my PayPal. Donate all your money you can. I really like more donations, Bitcoin as well. Keep donating. Aussie Fitness, never heard of it. Keep donating all your money to me because it's helping me stay alive. And yeah. Whoa, big bump. Now, this is a difficult decision to make, which parking spot. This one's very good. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because then when I go out, there's going to be no cars behind me. Alright, good people. Time for me to go to Africa and save the whales. Alright.